StreetSmarks@gmail.com is how you want to contact us. Listen to us right here exclusively on YouTube, Street Smart Audio, or fuck with us. Official.StreetSmarks on SoundCloud and IG, Street Smart Fanpage on Facebook, Street_Smarks on Twitter, ECW Memories with the Goofs. I left you with a cliffhanger for the Extreme Retro Review for ECW, January 10th, 1995, because this is the first show that I have no tape trader for. So I had to go to the network. So I looked to my partner in crime, who consecutively has watched the network shows.
Indeed.
From Extreme Retro Review number 2. And I asked you, as the paragon of professionalism,
That's right.
to take the lead.
You did.
So we gonna make it work.
We are. So, Hwoud, what were your thoughts of the show?
I said overall, I enjoyed this show. It breezed through in one take. Crippler and Shooter are the best. Club Expo was Tranny City. Network theme is awful.
Very nice. So, as y'all can remember, at the end of the show last week, they revealed that the big mystery opponent for Shane Douglas at this upcoming Saturday show that's just so freaking important that they set up a handicap tag match during their holiday hell. But anyway, it was revealed that Shane Douglas' opponent is going to be, hold on to your seats, everybody. Strap on your seatbelts. Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen. So he has a little promo or whatever, and there was a point where he says one of the horsemen may be afraid of Shane, but he's not. So I wanted to ask you, is he talking about Flair in this particular case?
Exactly, because at this point, Shane Douglas has been calling out Flair ad nauseum, calling him Dick Flair, Flair's dead chance, and all that shit, and Flair hasn't responded.
Right.
So this is the Horseman's revenge.
So, but so was he Flair? Was he Flair's boy at the time and shit? Or did they have heat or something?
I'm going to say that they had a falling out because Flair couldn't get Tully back into the company after he popped hot for cocaine.
Oh no.
So I'm thinking there may be some heat there. So he's trying to take a shot at Flair, get a good payday, and then go on and do his ministry work.
Interesting.
Tully's bald head is disgust.
And not only that, but it's just he's going to be basically another brick on Shane's path of world-beating tour and shit. Makes sense. So anyway, after that we have Stevie Michaels, or Sean Richards, whatever you want to call him, you know what I'm saying? The Heartbreak Toddler or whatever and shit, because I had no idea that he was purposely. I guess he had to be purposely copying a lot of Sean's style on top of being Stevie Flamingo and all that other shit he was doing. But anyway, he's out with Joey Styles, and all of that is a setup for, guess what, everybody? It's the debut of Raven. So Raven makes his ECW appearance for the very first time on the January 10th show right here, which I believe this is also Hardcore 90. And I forgot to mention this episode's 43 minutes, by the way. So anyway, yeah, Raven makes his debut, got the black t-shirt on, leather jacket and all that and stuff. He even drops a quote, "The Raven Nevermore," up in that bad boy. On the WWE Network, his music was terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
So thought I'd throw that in there and shit. So it looks like Stevie is going to be facing a crippled Hack Myers. He was a victim of the crippling Chris Benoit or crippler, whatever they're calling him and shit. He dropped Hack on his neck and he couldn't finish the match last week or whatever. But he's back in the neck brace and he's shawing it up. So, Sha is what the Fooch calls him, as y'all know. If y'all didn't know, now you know. So, what happens? Oh, yeah, so anyway, Stevie ends up getting the win because Raven does this stupid little load the boot or kick the ground a bunch of times or your toes because there's some sort of foreign object that you need to shift to your toe, so when you kick your opponent, so devastating that victory is all but assured. So he loads up his foot, kicks Shaw in the head and shit, and Stevie gets the win. Your thoughts on the match?
I thought it was an absolute dud of a match. It did nothing for me. Raven is a completely boring character at this point. The loaded boot gimmick is completely blah. What is he loading? Like he's walking. He's already walking to the ring. So shouldn't it already be micro loading as he's walking?
Yeah, you would think, especially if it's like sand or something.
Right. So at some point it comes to capacity. So at this point, when you're stamping the motherfucking ring with your boot, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I just got it. It's a magical boot, silly. You know how Dorothy has to click her heels 3 times and say there's no place like home? You gotta tap your boot 4 times and then it turns into a rhinoceros hoof.
Well, I'm glad that they went home with this dud of a fucking match.
Oh, shit. So, after that, after this goofiness and shit, they go to more goofiness because now they're at this club shit in New York, the Club Epic or something.
Expo.
At Club X-Pac and shit. So Public Enemy rolling up to Club X-Pac and shit. Was it Expo, he said?
Expo.
I like X-Pac better though, just because it's funnier. But so Public Enemy rolling up in Club Expo. Oh, they're trying to get in and shit, and or they're about to get in, and I guess some lame ass New Yorker and shit talk about they not the type to get in a Club Expo or whatever. It's hard to pay attention to shit like that, but. I did the best I could as the paragon of professionalism. You know what I'm talking about. Because I do things a little bit different than the food, He gives, a more detailed breakdown. I give a general overall synopsis with a little bit of 177th and Harvard flavor, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, it ends up being a gimmick where they open up their trench coats and they got the belts on. And then the dude's like, oh, you guys walking around with those on? And then they say, they're to hold our pants up as they proceed to walk into the club.
Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, man. Obviously, the food, you loved it. Oh, man. So, next thing you know, after that, the champ, the franchise, and the last member of the formidable and one of the most dominating and innovative groups known in the sport as professional wrestling, Hot Stuff International, founded by our leader and founder and my personal mentor, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Shane Douglas. He rolled up in a limo with a bunch of hoes and shit.
A bunch of what?
I use that term very figuratively. Fooch would say 2 trannies and two possibles.
Two trannies, two possibles.
It was a pair of titties on the screen that I was locked on, so I just it's the blonde with the massive cleavage and shit. So yeah, I didn't do a whole bunch of analyzing because I didn't, it's titties and it looked like natural titties too, so it's wonderful. So anyway, yeah, so they doing this awkward little sway dance and shit. Oh no, yeah, so yeah, they roll up, they hop out the limo and shit, and what I'm saying, the blase blah with the people outside the fans that outside the club. There was one gentleman that was happy to see the franchise, probably the one person in the whole city of New York with a little bit of sense and shit. And then they go inside and proceed to do the awkward dancing and shit. Then after that, they re-showed the Paul Loria and Mikey Whipwreck saga. For those of you who may have not been following along, Mikey Whipwreck's original tag team partner has come back with jealousy and vengeance in his heart. And he has joined Jason's stable of mid-card to low-card wrestlers. And he is also a giant, even though he somehow manages, by my guesstimation, to appear to be smaller than Mikey Whipwreck.
He is 5'5".
Okay, so, all right, I'm not tripping there. So, yes, he is a giant. He is Jason's giant, and apparently look forward to him locking up with 911 sometime soon in a giant versus giant match. They didn't say that, but, you know what I'm saying, obviously that has to be where this is going because he's a giant, clearly. So anyway, after that, the Extreme Encyclopedia.
Yeah, so unabridged 1995 edition of Extreme Encyclopedia. The music is the same as on the tape trader shows and future episodes of Extreme Retro Review. The Sandman, noun, also known as Smokus Brawlerus. He has a propensity for violence and an athlete that does not give a fuck about wins and losses. Woman, noun, Foxus Gredius. An aberration of the classic American fantasy of beauty and servitude. A seductive henchwench with an appetite for money. I also want you to know that key in on the word aberration. Aberration. Two Cold Scorpio. Grapless Aerobatus. Aerial criminal whose high-flying actions break the laws of gravity and human comprehension. I said, see his promos. Moving on.
Oh man, so after that it's more Shane dancing with the hoes and shit. More awkward dancing and shit, but you know what I'm saying, at least it's, but I don't know if they're two of them are dudes, they're not, and that's not a good time.
Scratch this. Shane is in the fucking expo with his terrible fucking suit. He's all glammed up, looking like Ric Flair in drag. He's with two obvious trannies and two that may be girls. One, plaid dress looking like Fairuza Balk, tranny. Chick holding the belt, push. Red sequin dress chick, obvious dude. The fourth one in the hat, they don't show her because they keep dancing around in front of the fucking champ. They go back to Joey, then they go back to the expo. They show some ECW action on a projector screen in the back of the X-Pac. I said, okay. Shane's now in a, he took off his jacket, nice unbuttoned his shirt, and he's dancing with the trannies some more, all seductively, looking like a fucking Greek siren song shit. It's looking disgusting. He cuts a fucking promo. He starts touching the lady's jaws. It's all angular and shit. It's fucking disgusting. Moving on.
Man, so much passion there.
The fucking trannies. It's disgusting. Like, dude, their jaws were so straight. They were like 90-degree angles. This motherfucker were like touching him. He's like, yeah, and I'm gonna beat up Ron Simmons. Glide his fucking hand over the tranny mouth. It's disgusting. They had jaws like Lee. They had jaws like Lee. They had jaws like tranny.
That was just gonna ask for confirmation.
Come on.
No, that's a shame.
Moving on.
So Ron Simmons is cutting a promo. He has a arm sling on for some reason because there's no way possible that the midgets hurt him that bad. But you know, it's kayfabe, so you know what I'm saying, I understand.
You gotta put him over.
Yeah. No, you don't have to. Look at the Hulk Hogan handbook of wrestling. No, you don't gotta put no motherfucker over. Shit. He says he's putting Shane over. He says if Shane was black, he would have been accepted in the hood.
In the Jacks?
Oh, there too, I would assume. I think it's an all access pass.
Yeah.
After that, speaking of, after Ron Simmons promo, we cut to Cold Scorpio cutting a promo.
Hot garbage.
In the ring.
Hot garbage.
I have never been more happy to see Chris Benoit and Dean Mastenko in my life.
Crippler and Shooter.
Crippler and Scooter. So they come out, Too Cold like a real nigga, you know what I'm saying, with his back against the wall. He stole on both of them, you know what I'm saying, but he tried to, he did get a little offense in, some drop kicks and shit, you know what I'm saying. He held his own for a minute, but them some feisty little midgets, though, I have to say. And it seemed like I've been paying attention to these motherfuckers, when they be doing these suplexes, especially these overhead and these belly to backs, and I don't know how nobody's not getting their neck broken on every single motherfucking suplex, because it looks like they landing on their neck every single time.
The wear and tear of the body, man. I mean, 94, they could probably do that shit. By 2005, nah.
I mean, that shit look crazy.
After the goddamn suplexes. Whoop, there it is.
So
Whoop,
the
there it
fans,
is.
Chad, whoop, there it is. Unbelievable. That's funny and disrespectful all at the same time. So, anyway, Sandman and Woman are making their way out. While they're coming out and stuff, the three referees, you know all their names.
The Gooficus 3. Yeah. Pee-wee, Mullinope, and Finnegoof.
Throw in a little Ty Gordon. They're trying to talk Too Cold Scorpio out of wrestling Sandman and shit, but you know he a real nigga from the hood and shit, and from the Jacks. Couple units down from Ron Simmons, and he willing to fight. You know what I'm saying? So. Sandman take his sweet ass time because he has a nice drawn out music. Now his WWE music wasn't too bad.
It's not. I have to admit, it's very passable.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, and it better be, because as long as been taking this motherfucker to come down, excuse me, which I don't mind, but I would have minded if the music was terrible. So he finally gets in the ring after stalling a little bit, or basically letting the music play. Probably trying to be a heel, but the crowd feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That would just be my guess and shit. Anyway, Too Cold Scorpio, after they have a decent match, you know, for Sandman and Too Cold Scorpio. He ends up winning with a standing top rope moonsault. He gets the W. Then, of course, Sandman, not to be outdone, gets the kendo stick and whoops on that ass a little bit. And then out comes Benoit and his little bitch, Dean McSleepo and shit. And, of course, they got to jump up my homie, and you know, the show ends, and it's unfortunate. So, but yeah, so it was definitely, in my opinion, it's definitely a much improved show over last week and shit. And Hwoud, what did you think about the Sandman versus Cold Scorpio?
I want to harken back to when Crippler and Shooter came in and started jumping Cold Scorpio, and gave him the beat down. And then the whole time that Sandman was doing his whole entrance, Scorpio's regathering himself and everything like that.
Right.
It gave the match a reason to happen. You know what I'm saying? You had the big match babyface. He's hurt. Now you got a reason to care about him because he still want to duke it out and shit.
Right,
and you got this dick heel who's a storyline heel who wants to take advantage of a hurt babyface.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To get that winner's purse.
Oh, naturally.
So, I've always talked about how I don't care about Cold Scorpio matches, how he pulls up on two, how he does moonsaults when it doesn't make any sense, and everything like that. But during this match, with the beat down by the midgets,
right.
it gave me a reason to care about this match, and it gave me a reason to care about Cold Scorpio, and it's the first time that I've done so in his ECW tenure. So I gave it 2 stars for the match. It was a great finish. Like I said, the story of the match, it was a great story, and if you do this more with Cold Scorpio, you can build him into something. Him having these cold matches with him just having athletic contests and shit like that, but still pulling up on 2 makes no sense to me. Doesn't give me a reason to care. You get his ass whipped now, and then he wants to be a fiery babyface. So now his moves and everything have meaning behind them. So I like that. Good job, Paul. Good job, Cold Scorpio. Good job, Sandman. Good job, Benoit. And good job, Shooter, for doing their due diligence by whipping his ass before and after the match, and giving me a lot of laughter to end the show.
Let's not get carried away. Well, you know what? This wasn't too shabby. Leading the review this week. I'll be doing it again next week, everybody. To all the 154 of y'all out there, we appreciate y'all. Just do us one more favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. Go ahead and give us a little feedback, show us a little love. Hwoud, before we get on up out of here, anything else you want to say?
Until then, January 17th, life is a work. Make sure you get paid for it. We out. Peace.